So in your talk, like you did last time, if you just tell us what it's like to build a team, what it's like to find the right people in the right positions, I think that's what they need to know.
I think with a lot of the health professions, and I'd include animal health under this as well, people who become a professional think of it as that they are the main person who works in their practice. They might have someone who takes phone calls and who receives people at the door, but they don't consider that they could be doing other things, making the practice work, the work in the practice, while someone else does the lifting for uh, the day-to-day things that they might think no one else can do.
Sure.
And when we think of a medical profession that where you can outsource work, I think a radiologist is one where they can have a sonar operator or a radiographer who works, and then they work at the same time. But a lot of these professions, if the the doctor isn't working, then the practice isn't making money. And something
Absolutely.
to consider is that the the wage that you pay yourself, or the rate that you pay yourself, is so much higher than it would be for someone else to come in who can do something easily that you do every day. And people find it hard to delegate sometimes because they might say, "Oh, this only takes me 5 minutes to do, and I'm so quick and good at it." But that 5 minutes at $400 an hour every day, that mounts up. That's a lot of money. Whereas someone could be doing it if they were working in the US, and minimum wage is $15 an hour in some states. If you did it through an outsourced team, you wouldn't have to pay them for the full time that they have to be there. They will just pay them for the work they do. And that would be at so around $13, $14 an hour.
Mhm.
And the problem that people find with this also is that they think, oh, I'm the only one who knows to do how to do this. I'm I've done this so many times, only I can do it, and I know exactly what I'm looking for. That's where it comes in that part of the team needs to have a structure for you. So it's not just the person you hire, but it's the structure that something like We Are Working puts behind it, is where we have standard operating procedures. Like when we started working for you, Dr. Amy, we spent a lot of time doing recordings of what you would normally do. We would put that into writing, and then we would train someone who does that. Then we'd say, how did we do? You'd say, you did okay, some errors here. We'd coach them, we'd change the document. And so this task that you might take 5 minutes to do might take us 10 minutes to do initially. And then we get it down to 5 minutes.
Mhm.
And you have to start by doing it with something simple, something that you can clearly define, something that's a task that's, I think it should be something that you wish you didn't have to do, like
Yeah,
going through your email every day and finding out which ones are the important emails and which ones are clearly spam. And I think that's an example of something that'll take you 5 minutes a day, and someone can be trained to do that.
absolutely. Well, let me make sure we introduce you properly. So this is Pierre Coates. Say your last name for me, Pierre, because I think I kill it every
Coetzer.
Coetzer. And what's your title with We Are Working?
I'm the customer success manager.
Yes. And you are our customer success manager for sure. And so you're the go-to for us when we need to rearrange things or do something different, or we need to get the answer about what can we do to make it more clear what we want, those kinds of things. And for base camp, you'll be here with us on, look at my cheat sheet. You will be here on day 2, which is Saturday
Mm,
in the morning, helping base campers understand more deeply even, how having that team can be not that difficult. And
mm,
I'm right there with you. I'm the first person to often say, well, let me just do that.
mm.
Because by the time I teach somebody, I could have done it twice.
Yes.
And over time, I think it takes the patience of someone like you to be able to help them, those doctors who are high achievers, understand that when you show someone to do it, you only have to do it once.
Mm.
Does that make sense?
And having a recording of that time when you do it, it's not that we sit here and, oh, okay, follow there, click there. It's different than when I think I went to college and varsity. There were none of these recording tools were available. I had to write it down in a notepad and then later decipher my own writing again. So with the technology we have now, we do a step-by-step recording of the process that we need to go through to take over the task.
Yeah. And I know the other thing that happens with our team is I might do it once and record it,
Mm,
but software evolves. And
mm,
so the team keeps an update. If they do something, if they have to change it a little bit because the software has shifted,
mm,
they update those SOPs on a routine basis,
mm,
which would be time I would have to take to learn it again and then redo it again. I know there've been a number of times when I have said to our VA, here, go learn how to do this and then fix this part.
mm.
And that's like hours out of my day.
And when we do it the first time, we might find a quicker way of doing it.
Mhm.
That that also happens. Yes.
I can believe that because
Mm,
you're not afraid to click a button and
mm,
find out what the button does, or do a quick search for help, or even talk
mm,
to the chat bot and find
mm,
out
mm,
information.
mm,
And if most of our doctors are like me, you're like, I don't want to talk to the chat bot because you got to wait for answers. You just
mm,
want to start clicking around and try to figure things out on your own. But if you've got someone whose job is specifically to figure out how to do that X task, talking to the chatbot's not that big a deal.
mm. And again, compare the rate that you pay yourself and what you would pay your assistant for you to sit and look at the three dots going past. Is he replying? Is he replying? For half an hour, and compare that to paying someone else to do that on your behalf. So
Absolutely.
someone's standing in line to get your driver's license renewed. That's kind of cheap.
That'd be great.
Mm,
Go get my
mm,
driver's license renewed, please.
mm, mm,
Yeah.
mm,
So, so tell me, let's talk a little bit about um, some of the things that We Are Working has learned about, in particular, animal chiropractic,
mm,
because one of the biggest things we want them to know about you, your team, is that you're already primed. You already get what animal chiropractors do.
mm.
So what kind of things have you guys learned about animal chiropractors, just as an example, with working with us? You can leave out the part about how they're disorganized and don't know how to do things.
Well, that is true for 99% of my other clients as well. Everyone needs a little assistant in their lives. Um, well, I think this fits in with our philosophy as well, is that the body heals itself if it's in good shape, if everything is in order, then it can do its best. So it needs to be in its best possible condition to keep itself and maintain itself in good condition. And it starts with the central nervous system, the spine of it. So I think if we relate that back to what we do, is if we have the groundwork set, that we know your process well, then everything else flows from that in a good way. Then we can have different people coming in to do the job at different times, because we've got it documented. That central truth that we have is, figure out what the way is that you want to do it, document it, and then, as you said, maintain it and keep it up to date so someone can just step in. And that's the way we keep a client healthy, is by have that central nervous system, that workflow, to have that sharp at all times.
Awesome. Well, um, so we'll be seeing you at base camp. And for those doctors who are listening to us today, who are a little worried about hiring VAs who don't even live in this country or strange people to work on their processes? What kind of comfort can we give them? Like what kind of security and that sort of thing?
Well, everyone who would work on one of our clients has already worked for us internally for at least 90 days. That's the first thing. And we monitor relentlessly to make sure that they are only working on your tasks and not someone else's tasks. We have screenshots that are taken every 10 minutes. They have to have a certain activity level. We set a, like we spoke about, the 5 minutes, something that takes you to do. If it takes someone half an hour to do that, then something's wrong. And then we flag it and we take it off the bill. So we set the benchmark, we monitor, we only use people who we know already for a while, and we trust them. Just like they had to gain our trust, now we can move them on to you because we like to build a relationship with our clients.
I love it. And I think that's probably one of the biggest things that we've noticed is that we get to spend time with the people who are working with us,
Mm-hmm.
and we get a feel for who they are, and they appear to have some level of concern or care for our clients and the work that they do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's valuable.
Yes, we don't like having a client for a week or 3 weeks because sad to say we don't make our money off that. We need someone like you who've been with us for 2 years, where we build out from one simple task, and I think we have maybe 40 tasks that we do for you. Maybe not all at the same time, but that's how many you've shown us that we can do for you. So that's long-term relationships, and that's where it's beneficial to both sides. That's
Yeah,
the way
I
we
would
work.
agree. Well, thank you so much for spending a little time with me. I'm going to let our viewers know that Base Camp is September 20th, 21st, and 22nd. It is the virtual event designed especially for animal chiropractors, veterinarians, and chiropractors who want to grow their practice, who want to have more time and money freedom, for those animal chiropractors who have been out in the field for a while, but their practice just isn't growing and they feel stuck. Base Camp is that CE event that number one will keep them certified, and number two will help them to see the different ways that they can apply to their practice and make it grow and help it get bigger and live longer than they do. We've seen too many animal chiropractic practices that kind of die by the wayside when the animal chiropractor is ready to retire. And we don't want yours to be that one. We want yours to be rewarding you even into retirement. So we encourage you all to go to the website, animalchiropracticeducation.com, sign up for Base Camp today, and we hope to see you the 20th, 21st, and 22nd. Cameras on, really excited, ready to go. Thank you so much, Pierre, for spending the time with me. I know it's late in the day for you, much different time zone.
Yes,
And
yes.
I appreciate the effort that you make to get here and to be here for us. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Dr. Amy. Look forward to speaking on the 21st.
Sounds great. See you then.
Bye-bye.